Maybe you're looking at all of this makeup and thinking, I have never been a makeup person, but there are things on my face that I would just love to hide and disguise. Today, I'm going to introduce our Demi line. Our Demi line is going to be color correction to the max. You can use it as a standalone, and you can also incorporate it with a full face of makeup. You get to choose. So today, I'm just gonna show you the standalone Demi and color correct my cheeks, my under eyes, and some of these sunspots that give me a little bit of trouble. Now we have 3 different edit kits that you can choose from. We have the Rewind edit kit, we have the Wide Awake edit kit, and we also have the Erase edit kit. So just determining what you need for best is going to be my job to make sure that we have correcting which areas we need, but also know that if there's only a couple products that you may need to color correct, we can do that too. They are sold separately. So let's get started and start addressing what is Demi. Demi is going to be taking that color wheel, which you will get one of these with any Demi purchase, and it is going to teach you how to color correct. One of the best things to do is make sure that you are trying to learn this in a natural light setting. So standing in front of a mirror, very clean face like what I have right now. And then as you get to use the products, it becomes like second nature putting it on. But do know, just like any new routine, sometimes it takes a little bit of time and work and patience to get it down, but knowing that it is going to be worth it in the end. So let's get started. Today I have in my palette just a really simple look, and I am going to be doing our erase edit. Now you will see that I have my Demi colors that comes in that kit. I also added a brush tile and also our Bella bronzer, an illuminator, and a lip and cheek. Now this is not anything that you have to have all of these items, but this just gives me a nice fresh look. One of the reasons I love this brush tile, particularly with the Demi line, is because you can see these colors all have a different tone. And when we look on our face, we have to be very specific about where we put these colors to make sure that they're not overlapping on areas that don't need correction. So cleaning off that brush is very vital to making sure that we have the correct coverage that we need. So now I am going to start by addressing some of these sunspots that I have on my face. Not all of them are distracting to me, but some of them are a little bit deeper that I just want to minimize. So I am going to start with a smaller brush, and that is going to be our spot brush. The spot brush is a fluffy end, and it also has a very small detailed end. So after determining the color tones of what my freckles are or my sunspots are, I'm actually going to start with this one called R01. And I'm just going to take a very minimal amount of product. You can see very, very small. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm only placing this color on areas that I need to correct. So I'll be starting on this little sunspot that I have right here. And then I'm also going to take that, and I have a couple of darker sunspots on my forehead that I want to minimize. And you notice that I'm just placing this product on these freckles right now. And you can see how little makeup I truly am using. Now, not all of my sunspots are distracting, so I don't need to cover all of them up. Again, I'm just going in with some of the darker ones that I feel that are a little bit more distracting on my face, like so. All right, a couple more up in my forehead area, but I don't want to get too crazy because I actually don't mind a lot of my freckles. I just want to minimize some of the darker ones. So after I have that placed on my face and I look around my face and I see if there's any other areas, one little small one right here, and then one little small one right here, I'm going to switch now, and I have a couple underneath my eyes that have a little bit more of a green tone to them. Now you may be thinking with these edit kits, how do I know which one to use? That is going to be all in the practicing and using these colors. So like I said, it does take a little bit of time to learn, but once you've established where your colors go, it really is nice and quick, and you can get such a gorgeous look that lasts all day. So now I have those colors on. Now I'm going to flip to the fluffier end of this brush, and I am going to press this color into my skin. Now the biggest thing about pressing is we don't want to swipe, because when we swipe, it is going to eliminate the color, and then you're gonna have to apply more, versus pressing, which I always recommend with our 3D too, is going to allow that product to sit on that surface and really erase that. Look at how much those sunspots are gone. This dark spot right here, minimizing that, and all on this side here as well. And just really pressing until I don't see that color anymore or the distraction on my face and this inner one right here. Amazing, right? So yes, I still have some sunspots, but once we keep going along our face, you're going to be blown away, particularly this redness in the center of my face. So now let's address the redness in the center of my face. You can see I have a larger area here. For that, I'm going to switch to our wash brush. I'm literally going to wash the color over my nose using this bigger end and this color right here. For me, my redness, which ironically we see red, but it actually has a purple tone to it, is going to minimize it with this color right here called Y01. Now, just because this is the color that works for me does not mean that's the color that's going to work for you. So again, I will ask for that color match photo to make sure that we can minimize what products you need and make sure you have the correct ones. So I'm just pressing that into this Y01 with this brush. And now I'm going to, like I said, wash it over any areas that are distracting with my redness. And look at how much that has minimized that redness on my face. Now, don't worry, I have other spots that I can show you just in case you missed that too fast or you blanked or your kids were distracting you for a minute. So I'm going to take that Y01 again, and I'm just going to press into my cheek area, minimizing the redness on my face. How amazing is that? Now, like I said, you can absolutely incorporate our 3D makeup with our Demi, particularly if you want to contour or add any bronzers or lip and cheeks with it, or you can do a full face of makeup and just do under eye correction if you need that. But for right now, I'm just going to be using the Demi all over my face to minimize areas that I need to hide any distractions on. So now that I have that Y01 swept all over the middle of my face, I also have some darker purple tones underneath my eyes. So I'm going to switch to my blur brush. Now, if you are thinking that you want to minimize the brushes that you have, this blur brush is great because it does have the small detailed edge as well as the fluffy one. But if you have very small, tiny areas, I really do recommend that spot brush. And we all know that sometimes the brushes can make the biggest difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this smaller end and I'm going to still stick with that Y01. And I want you to concentrate on this outer part of my eye. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this Y01 and I'm going to sweep it on this outer part of my lash line. And I'm only going to do half so you can see the difference. Look at how much brighter my eye is in this corner, even compared to the inner part right here. So I'm going to continue to swipe that Y01 underneath my eyes like this. And then I'm also going to do it on the other side, like so, minimizing that purple tone. Now, I also do have some purple tones on my eyes. So if we want to brighten our eyes a little bit, but we don't want to wear any type of foundation or eyeshadow, take that Y01 for me, and I'm just going to sweep that across my lid, and look at how much more open my eye is. Just sweeping that, look at how much of that purple tone has gone away. So we're going to sweep this across here as well. And now we brightened up our eyes. But I still do have a little bit of darkness with this dark blue. So I need to switch to my blue corrector. And I am just going to take this blur brush. I'm going to stick with that. And I'm just going to press that into my blue vein. Now notice I'm only putting it on the blue vein. If we get these colors in areas that we do not need the correction, you will see that orangey tone. But as long as we're just sticking to that small area, it's really going to minimize that. I just dropped my brush. Of course I did. So I'm just going to take this brush and I'm going to press in like this. And now you can see that that has minimized that blue area underneath my eyes. Now I do have a really small blue vein right here that I want to correct, so I have to use my spot brush for that one because I really do need a small area. So again, I'm going to make sure that brush is nice and clean, and I'm going to stick into my 03, and I'm going to take that brush and I'm just going to go only along that vein right here. I'm going to flip over to the fluffy end, and I am just going to press that color and minimize that dark blue vein. Like, how awesome is that? If you feel like you need a little bit more, just go right along that blue line, like so. Then I'm also going to take this inner corner here. You can see I have a little bit of blue darkness right in here, taking that spot brush, and the same thing on this side, and just flipping over to that fluffy end and just pressing that color in underneath my eyes so that it disguises those distractions. Now, you can add some mascara and go for your day, and look at how much brighter my face is now. But personally, I love to add warmth, so I'm going to use a little bit of our Beller bronzer. So I'm going to switch to a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to take that bronzer and I'm going to press it into my forehead area here, and then the base of my cheeks. And then I also like to warm up my neck just a little bit, and then I'm just going to fluff out that bronzer in my forehead area. And look at how much warmth that has brought to the tone of my face without adding any type of dimension or adding any type of coverage. We're just adding warmth with that bronzer. And then I'm going to go to one of our gloss lip and cheek colors. This is called Desert Sunset. And I'm just going to put a little bit on my lips just so I have a little bit of color here. I'm going to add a little bit to the higher points of my cheek because I like to lift my area of my cheeks. When I put it on the apples of my cheeks, I feel like it gives me a really full look. So in order to minimize and make me look like I had a facelift, I'm going to add it a little bit higher. I'm just going to press that color into my cheeks here. And then I'm going to add a little bit of illuminator at the end. So I'm going to use the Honey Cream Illuminator. And I'm just going to press that along my cheek line just to give me a little extra glow. Same thing on this side. A little bit up on the base of my nose, a little bit above my Cupid's bow, and then I'm going to add my mascara. And I have one of the most quick, easy looks that can be simple, that doesn't have a full face of makeup. Now for me, I love Thrive mascara, so I'm going to use that one. And look at the difference from when I had my full face without makeup, and then just added a little bit of our Demi line to just add some color correction. It really gives you a fresh faced look in minutes.